An icon, a timeless design, a comfortable fit, a digital display, many famous wearers, and a price tag lower than a meal at McDonald's. The watch I'm referring to is, of course, the all-famous Casio F91-W, a timepiece that costs only £10, that wears lovely on all wrists, is an alarm chronograph, and is the most sold watch on the entire planet. No, like, seriously. 3 million of these are sold every single year, and there's an estimated 120 million of them. I mean, they're the most sold watch every single year since 1989, which is absolutely mad. It's easily the most popular and readily available watch on the entire planet with no questions asked. It can be worn by a kid who used some pocket money from his mum on the side of the street, to the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama. Of course, it's so loved for a good reason, because the F91W has a minimal and functional rectangular design that is made from resin, which means scratches are much less noticeable, and it's very lightweight and comfortable on wrist. It has a diameter of 34mm, which sounds small, and at a width of 8.5mm and a lug-to-lug of 38mm, it definitely is technically small, but even so, the case shape and straps taper allows it to wear nice on big or small wrists alike. The digital display has large numerals, which allow it to be extremely legible and quick to read the time. And it also has a day-date display and even a stopwatch, as well as some backlighting to allow visibility when dark, though this is definitely much better in their newer models, and is one of the only things I'd say they need improving on. And I will just quickly say, even though the F91W is the most iconic of all the Casios by far, there are definitely better versions of it, of, you know, very similar design. They look pretty much the same, but they have more specs or higher finishing, etc. But the F91W is just such a cultural icon that I think it takes the cake anyway, but we'll get into that later. Anyways, being resin, it is of course very durable, and even though it's only stated to have 30 meters of water resistance, I swim with it regularly and it's just fine, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I still wouldn't recommend swimming with one just in case. Also, it's of course a quartz. I mean, it's digital, which isn't so bad for the price, being pretty reliable in terms of accuracy and only needing a battery switch every few years, so it's very low maintenance. But I do understand that some people, they only want a mechanical movement, so you're not getting that with this, just so we're clear on that. More so than all of this though, the F91 has made its mark in popular culture, gaining prominence not only as a functional accessory, but as a stylish statement. I mean, it's the perfect retro watch in all of the right ways. Really though, the main attraction to this timepiece that I find isn't actually the fact that it's a good timepiece, even though for the money it is great specs and it's pretty much the only watch in the price that you can actually use. But what attracts me to it more so is that it's just such a cultural icon. It's insane. Literally anyone who knows anything about watches ever knows this watch and has most likely owned one at some point. I mean, it's so cheap, so reliable, and so versatile too. You can wear it with a t-shirt, to a suit, to a dress. I mean, it goes with pretty much anything and everything. I would definitely recommend an F91W to anyone, new collector or old, just because it's so blimmin' cheap, and even though it's not anything to gasp at and it's not a spectacle to look at, it's a damn good watch for the money. For the negatives, my only real issue is the backlight, because it's pretty bad. But this issue is fixed with newer models, and at the end of the day, this watch is so cheap that you can't exactly complain about such a little thing, because it is legible and you can see it in the dark. It could just be a lot better. Another issue is the resin crystal, which scratches very easily, but because of the shape of the watch itself not being too prone to getting banged around, and the general fact that for the price you can't exactly expect sapphire, it's of course something that needs a little mention, but it's not a deal breaker, and I wouldn't even say that I'm disappointed by it. Now for the pros is starting off with pricing, because this thing is unbelievably cheap. I mean, £15 on Amazon you can get this thing brand new, but I got them brand new on eBay for £4 each. I say each because I bought about 10 of them, which I'm going to be doing giveaways for in the future, so stick around for that. But just the fact that they're so readily available, so cheap, anyone can get them. I mean, it really is the ultimate any man's watch because any man can afford it. They really are amazing value. As well as this is the cultural aspect, because it's such an iconic watch for such a low price. I mean, to get a watch of equal iconic status, you generally be spending tens of thousands, not just 10. Last is a pretty weird one for a pro, and that is that it's just not too impressive. And by that I mean, even though for the price it is amazing, can't beat it, very impressive, in general terms, you're not exactly going to be wearing this watch to a fancy event. I mean, it's nothing all too impressive. And the reason that that's a good thing rather than a bad thing is that for a new watch collector or just a daily wear, it doesn't matter if you thwack it, it doesn't matter if it scratches or breaks or you lose it, it doesn't matter if some water gets into it while you're swimming, it's easily replaceable for a cheap price, and it's not going to be anything that's, you know, of too much value to you. I mean, for someone new to the hobby, I'd recommend it as a first watch over pretty much anything else, even if you have a higher budget, just so you can get used to wearing it on your wrists, for example, because I know my first time wearing a watch, it was this massive, horrible, gaudy thing, and oh, I did not like wearing that. But it's a very good wear, it's a great entry to the watch world, and I would really recommend it to absolutely anyone. The verdict of all of this, and my personal opinion for the video, I've got my coat off, I'm going full in for it, and very simply put, I think that this is a great watch. I think anyone could wear it. It works with any wrist, any size, big or small. It works with any sort of outfit. You can wear it with something more dressy like what I'm wearing. You can wear it with a shirt. You can wear it with a dress. I mean, it works well on women too. There's nothing I really have against it in any way, shape or form. It's not amazing. It's not anything special in terms of, you know, an actual horological timepiece, but it's a perfect wear. It's a perfect start into the watch world, and I would recommend it 100, a million, a gazillion%. It's Christmas soon as well. It's a perfect Christmas gift. You really can't fault it, even though it is generally on the lower end of watchmaking. It's just such a good value watch. I don't see how you can go wrong with it. And if you don't like it, fair enough. I know retro things aren't everyone, but for me personally, and for literally everyone I've ever talked to into watches, this is both an iconic and loved timepiece. I really would say the verdict is a buy. Anyways, thanks for sticking around to the end. I'd love a subscription or a like if you don't mind. If not, that's absolutely fine. Have a good day.